Hello, this is Ron back from Ron's Drone Tech and Camera channel, and today I have an unboxing of a new ND filter set from Neewer. That's for the Mavic 2 Pro. So we'll be right back. All right, Ron back here with the Neewer ND filter set for the Mavic 2 Pro. So let's get right into it here. What this is, it says it's a professional lens filter for the Mavic 2. It's for the Pro. It doesn't say Pro in there, but it is. And it's a 3-pack of filters. And the nice thing is they're not just ND filters, but they're also polarized, which kind of makes them a cinema set, as some other rivals companies would call them. So it's a simple box here, and you get a a little booklet here. Box is kind of white box, a little writing on the back. So, and the things here, dear customer, from looks like it's from somebody from marketing. So not a whole lot of information here, but we don't need a lot on a filter set. So here we go. We got a 3-pack here, and what you're going to notice is you're going to say, well, what's that clear one over there? I've already test flown this, and I have one of the filters already on the Mavic 2 Pro. So let me take the the cover off here and get this up close in the camera here. As you can see, let's see if we can get focus. I don't know if that's focusing well enough for you. I'm checking my screen. Anyhow, this is the ND for polarized. And as you can see, let me put this down here a little bit. As you can see, the filter, spins around there. It has like a raised surface, so it easily spins around just by a slight touch of the finger, so you don't get the lens dirty as you're making the adjustments or smudgy. And it's very smooth, to the touch. So what you can do is you can rotate that filter until you see the sky blower, the grass greener, whatever the scenario may be. If you're over the ocean, maybe the water blower. Again, you could just adjust it. You can turn drone on and look at your monitor and see what adjustments it needs on your phone, smart control, whatever your monitor of the drone, where they get the the proper settings for how you want the colors to look. So, but also it's a 4ND filter, so it will help you use the proper shutter speed to get that motion blur you want in your scene. So, like for instance, this drone here, it's in 4K. It's capable of 30 frames per second. So you would put that setting on the drone, and then you would adjust the shutter speed to 60 to double the frame rate. You would double from 30 to the 60, and that would get you some proper motion blur in your video. But with the added benefit of also being able to use a polarizer to bring situations like, say you're flying in the middle of the day, and it's extremely sunny, and it kind of washes the color of everything in your landscape. Well, the polarizer was good. Put the blue back in the sky, put the blue back in the water, put color back in trees, foliage, or whatever. Again, it would just help you restore the color that was lost under a high exposure value situation, like flying at high noon, where the sun's the highest in the sky. And also the added benefit of if you fly over water and reflective objects, it'll help cut down on the glare and the reflection. So it does a couple different things. So again, I have the 4 on here. I've already tested out. I'll post a link to that video where I did a test flight with the ND4 polarized, and I flew it over water, over surfers at sunset. So you'll be able to kind of judge a little bit like that. And then here's the rest of the kit here. Comes in as kind of this big jewel case style thing here. And again, that's just the clear filter that comes with the Mavic 2 Pro. I just replaced that in there when I put the 4 on here. So let's see here. What we have here is 2 others. This is the ND8 here, and this is the ND16. And I'll pull one out here. They have this kind of foam type material here, so it's soft, protective, and they stick in there real good. So again, I always have focusing problem, but here's the filter. It has these sides here, where they're kind of jagged, so it makes it easy to grab when you take them on and off the Mavic 2 Pro, which I think is the most difficult drone there is to get the ND filters on and off with. Thankfully, the Mavic Air 2 has this kind of the same system with these little pins here. Let me turn this angle so you can see this maybe better. That you click it in, the actual camera there. So the Mavic Air 2 is sort of the same system, but it works much better than this. You have to apply, I don't know, twice the force, pressure, English, whatever the right word is, to get these on and off than you do the Mavic Air 2. But anyhow, this makes it easier to grip on the side there. And of course, you have that wheel I was showing you earlier to spin, how you want it polarized around in the field once you have it on the front of the drone, and you said you can make that adjustments after you're able to look in your monitor and see what it looks like in the field, in the situation you're in. So that's really it. I've shown you how to take on and off ND filters very recently. I've even shown it a couple times in a couple Mavic Air 2 videos. It's the same process, so I'm not going to do it again here. Half time my hand covers it up anyways. But what I had been using this is the Polar Pro. You can see the P in the frame down there. These are the Polar Pro set here. This is a let's see what this is. This is an 8, a 16, and a 32. This is kind of a base Polar Pro set. These are not polarized; they're just ND filters. And these, quite frankly, are twice the price of the newer product, maybe even more than twice the price. And are they better than the newer? I will tell you that after I've done some extended flights with these, so I can compare head up. I can do the 8 and the 16 kind of head up against each other. I don't have a 4 in this to compare with. But and of course the big difference is these are polarized, and the Polar Pros are not. So, and I've been a fan of newer filters for years. I've been using them long before I got into drones. I used them on digital cameras for more than 10, 15 years. I've been using newer ND filters, polarizer filters, and again, as in comparison to higher priced filters for cameras, I always found these to be we'll say acceptable quality. I'm not going to say they're better than Polar Pros or Freewells, but I'll let you judge out for yourself. Just remember that you'll be paying less than half the price. So if you get anywhere as close to the performance of the name brand filters, just something to consider. I purchased these on Amazon, so I will leave a link for them if you're interested in this set of filters or try them out. So that's about it. I'm going to say I've already done a video where I've flown with the ND phone, so you'll be able to see for yourself the what you think of the quality of it, and yeah. So, and one other thing I want to talk about here, and I'll be right back. One other thing I wanted to mention, when I was test flying the Mavic 2 Pro the other day when I did the filter test, there was a recent firmware update to the Mavic 2 Pro, and I don't know the number off the top of my head, but I'll put it down below in the show notes. And one of the things that it was supposed to do was, increase the signal performance of the Mavic 2 Pro. And I've flown it 2 or 3 times since I've done that firmware update, and I don't see any improvement in the signal or range of the drone. I'm mostly talking about signal, not really range. And I'll tell you the truth. In fact, I think I've seen a decrease in the signal since the update. It may just be the situations I just happen to be flying in, but when I flew for this test here, I flew down to the other side of the pier, and I stayed high enough that I always had a line of sight between the remote control, the smart controller in my case, and the drone. I never blocked it by the pier being in front of it. If I would take it too low, and a couple times I was like losing signal, and I had to move it around and raise it to regain a solid connection now. I mean, I never lost FPV altogether, but I was, starting to see, as my good friend Michael say, the robot, and you could just tell that it was close to losing signal, and I had to make adjustments. So, and every time I've flown it, I've seen kind of signal issues with it, that I never saw before the firmware update. Again, maybe these are all coincidence. Maybe I'm just flying in places that I would have had the same signal issues before the firmware update. But just something to keep in mind. In fact, let me know down below if you've had any, if you've tested your signal strength since you've done the recent firmware update for the 2 Pro, and whether you've had any change at all in your signal strength. But anyhow, just kind of like Ron's really ran of the day, had nothing to do with the unboxing of the Neewer ND filters, but I did want to just kind of mention, I don't think I've talked about that in any of my live streams or any of the videos, so I will continue testing this signal strength I'll call it issue that I found, that I don't think I've got range. I think I've lost some signal. But again, it could just be, the coincidence. I just fly at the wrong place at the wrong time, that I'm having more issues than before. But anyhow, I won't go on in this just simple unboxing video. But again, I'll put the link up here someplace for the video where I actually test fly the Mavic 2 Pro with the Neewer ND filter, and don't you see what you think of the video quality. So don't forget to hit that thumbs button on the way out of here, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Hit the bell notification so you know when I post new videos about drones, cameras, tech, filters, all that good stuff. And we will see you on the next one.